On a Saturday when the temperature dropped to minus 33.9 degrees Celsius in the morning, this is what North Bay firefighters were faced with in the afternoon. The fire department got the call just after 2:30 p.m. to 355 Dudley Street to a two-story, fully detached garage, fully engulfed in flames. The garage housed local business Crystal Clean carpet and upholstery specialists. It's much more than a place of business for the owner's son.
I grew up in that shop working for my dad's business and playing hockey in there and just doing a lot of work in there for the business. So it's kind of hard to see it go. I'm just glad everybody's okay.
The fire chief has a cause narrowed down.
Kind of concentrating on a wood stove that was in the garage to supplement the heat.
One of the department's finest placed the initial fire call.
Surprisingly enough, it was an off-duty firefighter that came across a fire and was the first call in. When we arrived, the garage was fully involved, so we call that a defensive fire. But we had so many exposures to deal with, so we had all three crews committed to that fire scene. And the primary was to make sure that the fire didn't spread to the primary residence. So we did a quick attack on the siding that was catching fire, making sure it didn't extend in. We pressurized the house with a positive pressure air attack. And then we sent another crew off to Hutchison because the way the garages are situated there, they're kind of back to back, those detached garages. So the fire was spreading to the fence. We were worried about the hydro wires plus the garage. It was starting to spread to the garage behind it, so we sent another crew to the back to attack that fire, and then concentrated everything again on the building once we got control of those.
And damage is pegged at close to $200,000?
Yeah, we're looking just for the structure, $200,000. Who knows what the other damage to business loss is going to be, but right now we're suspecting about $175,000 to $200,000 with the loss of the structure, all the equipment inside, the damage to the vehicle, and the damage to all the exposures. And
once again, the best of a bad case scenario is that no injuries.
Exactly. People were home at time at the residence, but there was nobody in the garage, so nobody got hurt. None of my firefighters got hurt. They were dealing with extreme cold conditions. Extremely hard to fight fires in this. It takes a big toll on the body. But as quickly as we're putting water in, as the water got away from the fire, it was turning to ice, creating quite slippery conditions for the guys to work in.
And last but not least, fire safety messages concerning wood stoves. Last week it was battery chargers. This week it's wood stoves. What are some tips?
So one of the big ones, and one of the ones we're concerned with is, especially with garages, that sometimes we see that people do not take the same care with the installation of a wood stove in the garage as opposed to the residence. So make sure that you have a good clear area, that your wood stove, especially a wood stove, it's designed to emit heat on all the areas. So if it's in a tight corner that has shields, it's well ventilated. So by a door or a window so you can ventilate it, because it does create carbon monoxide. That the area in front of it is non-combustible, so if sparks come out. When you're lighting up a wood stove or a fireplace, a small fire to start. Again, never use gasoline or wrapping papers. They can create a quick fireball. And make sure that you have what we recommend is having a fire extinguisher. Make sure that all the smoke alarms in your house are working. Change the batteries are needed, and have a carbon monoxide detector. Those are required by law.